You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Ian Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's The Real Housewives of Miami After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of Miami After Show.
Yeah. Miami.
I refuse.
South Beach, bringing the heat.
I refuse to show any sort of sense of humor right now with the dance. Hey, everyone. Hey, everybody. Bing is for doing, and tonight we are doing another Real Housewives of Miami AfterBuzz TV show where we're going to be discussing everything Real Housewives of Miami.
From Miami to Miami.
From Miami to Miami. From Miami to Bimini. I'm your host tonight, Molly Harper, and tonight I have two lovely co-hosts.
Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle Renee.
And hey, ladies and gents, it's Kristen Carney.
And tonight, unfortunately, we're missing Mr. Jake Dupree. He can't be with us tonight, but he's sending his vibes of fun our way. Tonight was a fun episode, and it was called, let's see, this was season 2, episode 14, called Surrounded by Hot Water. And I have to admit that after watching tonight's show, I got a little disappointed that next week starts the finale.
Yeah, I know, me too.
I feel like I've just started getting really invested with these ladies, and
well, I think because we started into the season a little late as a recap show, we didn't really have enough time to really get invested, right?
Yeah.
So basically by the time we got invested and maybe our listeners are invested in us, possibly perhaps, now we're going to be ready to go. It just was a little too short.
Yeah. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I thought we were going to have like 3 more episodes, but it looks like next week's episode is going to be like an hour and a half, maybe. 2 hours,
maybe 2 hours.
Yeah. So
it just doesn't feel like it's time to wrap up already.
Yeah.
I feel like we're getting into the meat of it.
Yeah, all of this, if this happened maybe episode 5, 6 or something, I could feel settled about going home and being done with it, but
I guess there are bigger problems in the world than, Real Housewives of Miami
There's
wrapping up.
not.
Some people have real problems, right?
This is the biggest problem in my life right now. So let's talk Karent. The episode opened with the women gathering around the breakfast bar, eating omelets, and talking about what had happened the night before, which was the news being broken to Karent that her boyfriend, Rodolfo, is cheating on her. What did you guys think of that?
I thought at first I'm on Leah's side, and I'm the same way as she is. Quick to be like, why don't you stand up for yourself? Why don't you say something? We saw her doing that not only with Karent, but then at the end of the episode, also with Marysol.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really easy to kind of, assume that she's weak just because she's not standing up for herself. But also you have to kind of take a step back and realize that everyone's personality isn't the same. And so I kind of was siding with Karent a little bit just because everyone is not, tenacious like Leah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I can see that. I feel like Leah was just hounding it out of her, and I understood Leah's point. She said, I'm throwing you a life raft here. I'm giving you a chance to basically stick your ground to these ladies. But Karent just kept defending herself, saying, my life is so fulfilled. I don't go around talking about everybody else's lives. And she said, I don't go around saying Alexia's husband is gay.
But I have to disagree. I don't think Karent is fulfilled. I think if she was fulfilled, I think she would have the balls to be like, you know what? The guy I'm going out with is pretty much a scumbag. But I don't think she's satisfied, and I think that's why we see her having to get the pictures and having to post them on Facebook instantly. It's this insecurity. And believe me, I'm very familiar with that territory. So, I mean, that would be my take on when she says something like that. I just don't think it's genuine.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm having a hard time finding Karent to be genuine, but at the same time, like you said, it's just not her personality to maybe be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, well, even
I don't know. Maybe it's not her personality to want to confront anything negative.
Well, a lot of
so
people,
she puts on that happy face.
A lot of people, I think, have a barrier where you don't really have access to who they actually are, and until something tragic happens or something goes on in their life where they actually let you in, you can't really get a glimpse. It's like Karent doesn't have that. She doesn't have that look into me and see everything about me. It's like, this is what I'll show you. I'll show you that I'm a dentist. I'll show you that I'm always happy, and I'll show you that I have a boyfriend. But beyond that, I'm not going to show you much. And even Lea said, I think it was Lea who said at the end of the episode something like, it was something to the extent of like, it's nice to see Karent actually talking to us, because I don't think she opens up to the women, and that's where she gets the "we don't like you" thing, because they don't know who she is. Every conversation they've had is disingenuous.
I think the same. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah. It seems like she thrives off of having a lot of control in her life. Kind of like someone with an eating disorder. They have to, I don't know. That wasn't a good comparison, but anyway.
Are you like insinuating that I haven't eaten all day? I did say earlier I was like, I've barely eaten all day.
Yeah, it's awkward for me to talk about.
No, I know.
Like embarrassed right now.
Oh no, you're talking about Kristen. I love it.
I feel really awkward.
Well, the same can be said, I think, Kristen, for Lea. Lea only shows us the strong, feisty side of herself, and I think that's masking some vulnerability as well, because nobody can be that strong all the time. Certainly, I think there must be some things that aren't perfect in Leah's life, but she likes to walk around like, I am confident, I am strong, I tell it how it is, and things are great, and I have my man under control, and my son's under control, and I don't know if
my
she
grandpa
like
under
this,
control is basically.
but yeah, her grandpa, her husband.
Well, the only moment we really saw her was when
her dog died
tonight. When her dog died, we
true.
saw that moment of vulnerability, and that's when you like her the most. And it's the same with Karent. When she's sitting there crying over her dad, Molly said while we were watching it, I feel kind of sorry for her. So it's like that's where you learn to like someone. So I always find people very charismatic in death.
I think that's the whole point of Real Housewives. Like they're all masking something deeper. Wait, I'm like totally missing.
That's the best quote of the day. I'm really charismatic
in death.
Oh my God,
Sorry.
we're so dark. We're so dark.
No, it's fine. I don't even know what I was saying, but I don't know. All of the housewives on this show and all the other housewives shows, they mask something. Like they all have insecurities.
Their faces.
Yeah, well, with like Botox and stuff. But I don't know. Some of them are bitches because they're, masking their, I don't know, something else. I don't know. I just think they all have kind of like their Achilles heel. Is that the right thing? So
yeah,
I don't think it's just Lea and just Karent that are like hiding something. If you really took the time to think about it, you could probably pick out, a little flaw in.
Yeah.
I just think Lea can tend to prey on the more subdued. Like we've seen her prey on Marysol. We've seen her now prey on Karent. Like, I think that if you're not feisty in the way that she is and gonna stick up for yourself, she'll be like, "You're my victim." Yeah,
right.
You're my victim. Exactly.
Right. You're basically looking like roadkill, and she's the Black Hawk coming down to like swoop you up and take you away because you can't defend yourself. But that's what I like about Lea.
But I think she also defends people that don't have a voice too.
Like Lisa.
People that literally don't have a voice when they're not there. She's always quick to be like, they're not here to defend themselves. Let's not do this anymore.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that's true. But when people say that, it's always funny to me. It always seems very hypocritical because they'll get into it, they'll talk about them, and then they'll be like, "But they're not here. Let's not." Yeah. Ruin their.
I think she does that when she did that. I respected her when we saw her do that a couple of weeks ago. But I always think there's a motive, and I think her motive is that she's like, I'm gonna look like the hero right now, and I'm gonna look like the woman that's above everybody else because I
Right.
decided it was a bad idea to stoop to that
Exactly.
level.
That's why
She's just so. I think
can't-
she's manipulative in everything she does.
Yeah, that's when I can't. I cannot stand when people say, I don't talk behind anyone's back, or it's not nice to do that. It's like, you do it all the time. Just admit that you do it.
Yeah.
Everyone does it. So
Everyone
to
does
pretend it doesn't happen is silly, and makes you not look like a good person. I would rather someone talk about someone behind their back and then own up to it later, than just to pretend that we don't talk about people behind their backs. It's just like this gross.
I feel like all we do is talk about these women behind their back.
Yeah.
So what's better or worse? The way Karent handles things or the way Lea handles things?
In the real world, it's better the way Karent handles things.
You think so?
But for television, I'd much prefer
Probably.
she handled them like Adriana.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know.
I think that's well said.
Yeah.
Like Adriana, what is she? Punching someone in the face?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's television. If I wanted to
Okay,
watch
okay.
people behave,
You're saying for the show's purposes, handling like
Yes.
Adriana. Okay, I thought you were saying for the real
But
world.
in
And I was
real-
like, wait, no.
but
So
in
Yeah.
real life,
Okay.
real
Yeah, in
life,
real
I
life,
think
just-
Karent,
very
makes
incarnate.
more sense.
She wants to look classy and look composed, I guess.
So she.
Okay, wait. One thing I have to say, though, before we leave this topic of this breakfast morning. When Karent finally was like, God, I'm so freaking sick of Lea pounding this into my mind, that she pretended like she was Lea and had Joanna and Lisa pretend like they were Roy and Roy Jr. And she was like acting out what maybe a day in Leah's life would be like. It's like she took her act out way too long. It made me uncomfortable. Seeing Karent act made me uncomfortable. Because I feel like I was watching the failed dreams of an actress. Because let's face it, she wanted to be an actress, right?
She did. And she's the type of person that when she looks like she's trying to have fun, it looks like she's trying to have fun. You know what I mean?
Yes.
She looks like she's trying really hard to be loose. It's like the way my mom would look if she was trying to tell a joke at dinner. It's like, Mom, we all know
That's not your
this
role.
is not you.
Yeah.
You know? So it comes across awkwardly.
It was funny.
Wait, can I say
Yeah,
something that made me
of course.
uncomfortable?
Yeah.
When Karent was trying to give examples, and she goes, I mean, I don't go around talking about why, what's his name, Roman hasn't married you yet. And I
rude.
get where she's coming from, because, like, she doesn't go around talking about that, but it was a dig, like, at her
It's a
friend, and
dig.
I kind of expected Joanna to, be like, what? But she
That's
didn't.
I don't think
exactly-
Joanna. Oh, sorry. I don't think Joanna's smart enough to realize it was a dig.
No.
I really don't. And I think Karent was digging. And she said that comment about Alexia's husband being gay.
Yeah.
That's-
Well, I don't mind that she said that, because it's kind of like she's
it's
throwing,
Alexia.
they're throwing
Yeah.
stones at each other. But when she said that about her friend, I was like, ew.
That's exactly why I cannot stand Karent, because she acts like the innocent angel, but she actually isn't very nice. She's not a very nice person, and she does it in a sneaky way. Like we saw her say to Lisa at Thomas's house. She was trying to be playful again and giving a dig at the same time, but Lisa's wearing a leopard print dress and
She said something about her
you
being
look
a
like
stripper or
a
something.
stripper. But she tried to say it really fun, and she
Yeah.
said it in front of everybody. And someone who has a sense of humor wouldn't say that because it's too obvious. Like that's, go to something more original as a joke. And they wouldn't embarrass somebody unless they knew it would be reciprocated in a sense. And Lisa clearly had no desire for
Right.
it. So that's why I don't like Karent. I think she's sneaky, and I don't think she's as innocent as I don't think she's innocent at all, and she comes across as if she is.
No.
I can't speak.
No, me neither. I can never speak. It's like a long day and then I can't talk. Okay, so let's get into Mama Elsa's take. Mama's Elsa take.
Do you think
This
Mama
is why we
Elsa
do
has an
podcasts.
iTunes account?
I think Mama Elsa probably. Yes, I do. And you know what I think Mama Elsa would do with that iTunes account if she had one? I think she would tell her friends.
Or put an evil spell on it.
Yeah, that's true. I think she would tell her friends about our show. She would rate and comment. And
have to listen to AfterBuzz.
that was good.
Thanks. Don't make me do it again. It won't happen.
And yeah, I think that's what she would do. That was fabulous. And I think that you guys should rate and comment. We do read your comments. So thanks a lot for doing that. It helps us out and keeps us thriving. So speaking of thriving, Alexia Alexia wanted to keep it going the next morning. She was still game to talk about it. She was curled up on the couch with Marysol and Anna with her champagne mimosa, ready to like talk about the night. And then Marysol said, I want to call my mom and tell my mom what happened. And Mama Elsa basically replied by saying she was very disappointed in the girls for bringing up the gossip. What did you think of Mama Elsa's take?
She just shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like I've had that situation happen before in my life where I had like some really juicy gossip or something negative to say about someone, and the person I said it to was kind of like, no, I don't agree with you, and then I felt really stupid.
Yeah.
So I think they all felt really stupid. It did surprise me that she was like, Alexia, I didn't think you were this type of person. Because she started off by saying, Alexia, I didn't think you were this type of person, but then by the end of her sentence, she was kind of attacking Alexia's
Just
character.
looking at Alexia, you know, she's that type of person.
Yeah, so I was confused. Is Mama Elsa like team Alexia, or she thinks Alexia is like a shit
I think
stirrer?
I like what you said, and I think you're right. It was like she was made them feel shamed and scolded like schoolgirls, and maybe I think she must be pleasant to Alexia because I think it's pretty clear that Alexia and Marysol have a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
But she was disappointed in her. And then she spoke in Spanish.
Yeah.
I love how Mama Elsa's like, look, I'll do the English thing for like 5 seconds and I'm giving up. And like, you guys can just translate it later. I love it.
Yeah.
She just does what she wants.
But Alexia waking up to talk about that, that's like Christmas morning. Like, let's open the gifts. Let's like talk about these things that make me feel alive.
Well, here's something interesting. If Alexia's husband is in fact gay, as everybody in town apparently is talking about, maybe Alexia, because as we've learned, she's a shit stirrer and she likes to get rumors going. Maybe it's to get all the attention on everybody except for herself.
Right.
And that might be why she's so meddled in everybody else's business. Maybe she's like, if we talk about everybody else, people won't talk about me.
Yeah.
But you know what, Alexia? It's called karma. And it's going to come back and haunt you.
It's a club on Jersey Shore.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say it's a song by Justin Timberlake.
But as we were watching the show, Molly mentioned, you know, Alexia likes to make herself relevant. Is what you said, and it's really true. It's again, she's not a full character. You know, she doesn't have a full spot on the show, so that could be partly why. Excuse me, but I wish she didn't make it as obvious. She's not a very
she should be. I mean, they should kick off Anna and have Alexia on the show because at least she's like got some relevancy. I mean, Anna does nothing for the show. I mean, we're going into the finale next week, and what has Anna done except for argue with her super lame Bob Saget lookalike husband?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus possum. I think he looks like a possum.
I love that. That's the song I was just talking
The
about.
song is really deep.
At first I was like, what is he playing, Eminem? Oh.
Why is it that people who like go to Club Karma or listen to a song called Karma probably either don't know what karma means or have bad karma?
That's really poignant.
Thank you.
Really deep.
I've always wanted to say
Deep
that.
thoughts with Kristen and Carney. All right, you guys, let's move on. Let's move on to Lisa and Lea, as I want to call this segment, Lisa's baby breakdown. So we saw Lisa have a meltdown to Lea and have an intimate conversation about how painful it is not being able to get pregnant to term, as she calls it. And I told Michelle, I don't like it how she calls it to term. It just sounds so technical. I'm like, how about just say carry a baby? But whatever. Let bygones be bygones. What did you think of their conversation?
I'm glad she brought some clarity to the age difference between her and Lenny.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, even though I'm not in a relationship, don't have a boyfriend, don't have anything close, I
felt like that's like
in case anyone out there was wondering, I kind of felt for her when she said she didn't want, or Lenny didn't want their son to have to like push him around in like a wheelchair. When, you know, because I think about that sometimes, like a lot of my friends, I'm from a really small town, and you know how people do in really small towns, they have kids really young.
Yeah.
And I am just like, oh no, like I'm going to be like the older mom. And so that like, I mean, that's the only part that I kind of, you know, agreed with. The other stuff, we've heard it before. Like we've seen her crying over her kids before.
Right.
So
That's true. So she went
like a
more in
legitimate
depth in this
yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
And something that she said is she said, Lenny has given me so much. I want to be able to give back something to Lenny. And I think what she meant was Lenny has given her basically a new body and a new face. She wants to return the favor.
A second new body.
Yeah. But no, truly, I mean, she said, I want to give Lenny a son. And I was just thinking, like, if she gets a daughter, I don't know what Lenny's going to do. Is Lenny going to have a meltdown? What will Lenny do? if he has a daughter instead of a son.
He will kill her.
I think he would be happy with a daughter. She just was saying it. Ideally, she would like a son, but if there was a daughter, he would like give his 4-year-old boob implants.
Yeah. Oh God.
But this is where
he would. Oh, gross. Isn't that gross?
What?
He would totally give plastic surgery to his daughter if he had one.
Oh yeah.
It's gross.
Before the age of 10.
Ew,
I'm assuming.
gross. Okay, gross. I shouldn't have brought it up.
He'll make her look like a boy. Be like, there's my boy.
There's
But
my boy.
this is
That's horrible.
this is
Oh my God.
But this is to me the definition of beggars can't be choosers.
Right.
You can barely get pregnant. Don't be picky. You know what I mean?
Well-
If you have a boy or a girl, whatever, that's great. You have a child. So it's weird to get so specific, especially in our culture. We are not in China. You know, having a girl here isn't this weird thing. So I think they should just be happy to have something, or I think they should adopt. Or like you said, just be the cool couple.
Well, you know, they've already tried the surrogate. She's gotten pregnant. She hasn't been able to carry the child. I'm not a doctor, but just judging by the look of Lisa, I think she might need to put on some weight to
Right.
carry a child because she's very thin.
And that's the thing.
Plenty.
Someone like Lisa won't put on the weight. It's like her image
She
is
wouldn't.
way more valuable than than having a child. It's kind of like Karent. Karent stays with
Yeah.
Rodolfo but wants a family. It's like, well, then choose what you really want if that's what you actually want.
I think that it's Lenny personally.
You think it's Lenny's problem?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
because
think
they
it's Lenny.
tried the surrogate.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
so that
he's
makes it-
45. She's 29. That is not old to be having a child.
But 45 isn't old for a man. Men can have children in their 60s.
Their sperm starts to go bad.
No.
That's why they go to the clinics. They get
Yeah.
it frozen. I mean, I know,
They don't freeze sperm.
or whatever they do.
They freeze eggs.
They do something with sperm. They
No,
have
they
a
don't.
bank.
Men can have babies as old as, like, they can practically have them when they're dead.
Yeah, but there could be birth defects.
Okay.
Just
You know
feel-
what? None of us are doctors who probably shouldn't be talking about
The
that.
whole
I am a
surrogate
doctor.
thing made me think that it was Lenny more so, but I don't know if that would be accurate. Because if it's like out of her body, then wouldn't that increase the chances that
Yes.
it can be carried to
it's-
term?
I think it's a little odd that they weren't able to get pregnant with the surrogate. That's a little weird. Obviously, you know what? I actually think in this conversation, Lea made, as much as I don't really like her, a really valid point that I would very much agree with. And she said to Lisa, look, you have such a full life and you're focusing so much on what you don't have instead of being grateful what you have. And I was like, whoa, Hindu Lea. Amazing comment.
Right. Match
That
their
was-
headdress. Thing.
Yeah, but that was really great. That was a great
Yeah.
comment, and that was really truthful. I think
It's truthful for a lot of people, and
honest-
especially in our culture.
it's a great way of putting it. So many of us focus on what we don't have, and instead of what we have. And I think that that's exactly what Lisa's going through. And as we've discussed in the past, I just don't know if her relationship with Lenny will survive if they don't have a child. And I think that's why she's getting so incredibly anxious about it.
Right. Like we said, I mean, in my opinion, I don't find their marriage to be super
Genuine?
genuine. So I think the same thing could happen, and I do think she knows that there's other broads like me. You know, he could go out and find a girl who is a great figure and who can, but you know what I mean?
And
Like,
who can have a child?
but someone
He
like
doesn't
her,
even need a woman with a great figure because he can give her a great figure.
exactly. So he just he needs a body. That's all
He
he
needs a human body.
He needs it's a blank slate, and he can go ahead and do what he wants to it. But the thing
He's
is,
a plastic
though,
surgeon. He's
this
the
is-
most famous one.
This
Please.
is the world they choose to live in, though. This, you know, that they're all very manufactured, and they don't have that much to set them apart from one another. So I wouldn't doubt that Lenny would be able to go to someone else and have the same feelings toward that person.
Oh, I agree.
Why don't they just adopt a child? Did anyone
Because they're
consider-
both so vain.
Right. But Lisa, like, you have plastic surgery. Your maybe
Yes.
genes aren't that great, so maybe just
we
go
don't
with
even
the
know
ba-
what the kid is going to look like
I know.
at this point.
Like seriously, like people who have plastic surgery and then have a child and it doesn't look anything like them. There's actually a case of this in Asia recently.
The guy sued his wife because she had plastic surgery,
And the baby was ugly.
ugly.
Yeah.
And he won.
He won a lawsuit
For
against his own
deception.
wife.
She had to pay him like $100,000 or something like
Because
that.
she deceived him with
Yeah.
her newly beautiful nose. He was like,
No.
I didn't know our baby could have a huge
Yeah,
nose
yeah.
because you have a small little tiny one.
But buddy, it's 50-50 here. Like you're part ugly too, man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
That's true.
And it wasn't just the nose. Like
Part
her
ugly.
face was completely reconstructed like craziness.
Oh my
Well,
god.
Lenny made her look the way she does. He knows the before.
Right.
Yeah, and Lisa
he
was
has him in his office.
And as we discussed, Lisa was pretty before, and we're just being silly with this
Yeah, we're
conversation.
being.
I hope you guys
we are being silly.
You guys
Of
know, it's the end of the season. It's like, the end of the school year when you don't really care about your papers that much, and you're like, whatever.
Right.
It's like the end of the season. We're being silly. We don't truly think this.
No, I mean like.
Truly.
I mean, I kind of do.
Kind of. I know. We don't really. I was like,
I'm just, honesty is the best
I just
policy.
think I know I was being
Yeah.
truthful about the whole adoption thing. I don't understand
know.
why that. I mean, I guess that's a less desirable option for many, but
I
don't
think it's Lester's.
know. Get a little black baby, a little Asian
I
kid, and
know.
just
Well, the,
so
th-
cute.
the thing is, too, they have a lot of money, and I know adoption is expensive, so it's not like that would prohibit them from.
I think that when you're wealthy like they are and you don't adopt, it's becomes some sort of ego vanity issue.
Oh, yeah.
Because why else wouldn't you do it? Come on. I mean, Angelina Jolie has like a ton of them, please. So let's move on to the
Conk.
Conk?
Conk.
Okay, I never heard of this thing in my life.
You're like, I'm not a doctor.
No, I'm not a doctor. I've never heard of this weird seafood.
Have you ever had one of those shells and you hold it to your ear, you
That's
can hear
what
the
it
ocean?
is.
That's where it comes out of.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They're very small comparatively to
Very
Michelle.
small.
Yeah.
So at the conk?
Conk.
Conk.
Okay. I feel like I'm
I
saying
think.
something bad. I feel like I'm saying a bad word.
No.
At the conch shop.
Naughty.
I know, I feel bad. Okay, so we saw, Anna's big moment of the season, which was her one relevant moment of the season, and that she ate that aphrodisiac conch. And what did you say about it?
What did I say?
You said something.
What did I say? I don't remember.
You said something.
I didn't say anything.
No, you said something like, this is, you said, I bet you the producer's like, eat that freaking.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
that says
Yes.
You eat that right now, or else your contract is not getting renewed.
Right.
For
I'm
next
turning
season.
that into a little sound drop. Eat that aphrodisiac conch.
It's true.
AfterBuzz TV.
That's
It's
true.
horrifying.
I know it's horrifying, please. I'm
It's
gonna,
true,
never
though.
come back. I won't be here next week, but.
I mean, how much is Anna put in, really? Or Anna? I like her though as a person. As a
No, I
human
do. She's
being.
just so boring. Like, she's the kind of person I would love to hang out with, not the kind of person I want to watch on a TV show.
Exactly.
And it's a little too late. Like the season finale's next week, so you should have done more sooner.
Yeah, sorry. You should have eaten more conch. So as also at the conch shop. Okay, we're like so immature
Yeah, we
tonight.
are right now.
It's hilarious. Marysol had a bloop, 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 moment of
Enlightenment.
exactly, and she realized that she is ready for a divorce. And what did you make of that?
I mean, I feel like it's easy to get carried away on vacation. Isn't that what vacation's for? But back in the States, no.
You don't think it's
She'll
gonna happen?
reconsider.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think she's. It's probably all the estrogen and floating around that's kind of making her feel empowered. And the thing is too, you're right. When you're on vacation, you don't have any of the same things that you don't have any of the same stimuli that you have in your regular life, which is seeing something of his in your house or remembering something that happened in this corner of the bedroom. You know what I mean? There aren't those moments to remember. So when you're on vacation, it's easier. I'm disconnected. I'm not in my regular life. But once you get home and you're bored and alone, then it's a lot easier to go back to how you really feel.
I agree. So that's about all that happened at the conch shop, and then we had the dinner, the Last Supper. I don't know if it will be, but
I think there'll probably be like 2 more suppers.
we find out that Karent's dad is in bad health, or so Kristen thinks. Kristen thinks it's made up.
No. I just, again, as a joke, I said, a way to get out of it, Karent, or something like that. But again, I'm kidding, and I hope her father's okay.
Of course.
But it's very convenient. It's like, ooh, very convenient, Karent.
Yeah.
Oh, you just happen to have. What are the chances that the battery just happens to stop right now? Like batteries. Have you ever seen a Duracell commercial? That's what I thought. I'm kidding. I'm really tired tonight. But no, I don't. I don't think she's making it up. I think it actually happened, but it's just too, it's funny. It's
I feel like we got to see
coincidence.
Karent. I think it bad coincidence because I can see. I mean, it's horrible what happened, but I can also totally see the other side where they would be like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'm sure that happened." Convenient.
But she was at lunch though, so, and then she was at the conch shop. She was at lunch and she was acting fine. So I feel like
that almost made
was
me think
kind
the
of-
editing, maybe they switched the order of things. I thought that for a brief second because she was acting so normal, or it is really Karent and that's something that she would actually do. But for a brief second, I thought, well, maybe this happened out of order.
Yeah, I mean, if she was going to be, yeah, if she was going to, I mean, I don't know, maybe the editing, because they can throw all sorts of things together. But if she would have been upset at lunch, or she would have not come to lunch, or she would have had
maybe
an attitude,
she hadn't gotten
she
the
would have
phone
been
call.
standoffish.
Do you think she maybe hadn't
No,
received
but
the phone call at
as
lunch?
far as their explanation goes, like, oh, she is upset because of Rodolfo. Like, she would have been upset at lunch if she cared that much about Rodolfo.
Oh,
that
I
make
see what you're
sense?
saying. So you
Yeah.
do believe that, in fact, her father, there was a health problem and she did not make it up.
Yeah,
Okay,
totally.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. You're right.
The only thing I have to say, though, to make everyone continue to hate me tonight is I feel like there's a possibility that, if you're, again, we're not doctors, so many medical issues tonight.
I know.
If your pacemaker stops, that's a big deal. And if you're not okay, you're not going to be okay. But if you're okay, it's a big scare. But you'll if they get it right away, then you're fine. And so I almost think that her father's in the hospital, but he's okay, and they've taken care of him. But she would milk it a little bit and just say, I want out of here and I want to go see my dad. And I would do the same thing. If people were bullying me and I knew my dad was in the hospital, I'd be there in 1 second. But I think that maybe she knows he's fine and it's not a super emergency now at this point, but yet it's still going to go. And again, I would do the same thing.
It's hard. I mean, the thing that's unfortunate with Karent, I feel bad for her no matter what happens. And I feel bad for all the horrible things that have happened to her with her boyfriend. I feel bad for her that her dad's in bad health. The problem is with Karent is because of the way she's behaved all season, it's just so hard to believe her.
Right.
And I think that she just leaves a little bit of distaste in my mouth. Regardless, I don't wish anything bad on her. I just feel like I can't tell. I can't.
It's hard to get
her.
on her side.
It's hard to get on her side because she's hard to trust. But I hope everything's okay with her father and so on and so forth. And then that last dinner, we just saw Lea. We should call Lea is just like the Harper, which is my last name. She just won't she won't bury an issue. She starts beating up Marysol over this gala, which none of us really care about because we talked about last week. And we don't care about the Elaine story because we weren't privy to seeing it happen and seeing it unfold. So we don't really care.
And I don't think
she's
people who were
bringing
even
it up
at the
again.
gala even care.
No, way to ruin their dinner.
People,
it's like,
yeah,
hello.
Everyone's like, what's happening?
It's a little boring. It's like, okay, you have a gala, big deal. There's a lot of galas that go on. Let's move on. It's not the presidential dinner or something, where the whole world is watching. It's a little something, and yeah, it was annoying, but it this far away from it is
silly.
just a little.
It's just silly to talk about, and then everybody starts crying.
I like that they cried. We had the moment a couple weeks ago where they were having dinner and they all shared something that made them vulnerable. And seeing Lisa respond to Marysol's tears made me feel good that they're human. Because again, I see them as very manufactured human beings, and I like seeing the less made up side behind them. And so I like seeing them cry.
The more human moments.
Yeah, I don't think Lea really cares about Marysol, though, the way Marysol was like, I'm glad to have you back as a friend. I don't think. All right, did I say Lea? I meant to say Lea. I think I said.
Yeah, you said Lea.
Okay. I think when they both apologized, Lea almost got emotional in the moment, but I don't think that she missed Marysol's friendship. It looked like that was a one-sided thing with Marysol.
Would you miss Marysol's friendship?
No.
Besides, going over to hang out with her
wouldn't even
mom,
know I was missing it.
Yeah.
I don't mind Marysol, actually, you guys.
No,
But
she's
she doesn't
okay,
add
but she's
anything.
boring.
You wouldn't miss her. She doesn't add anything.
No, but
She doesn't take
I do
anything
think
away
she's
either.
smart, and I like her as a part of the group dynamic because I feel like when I watch her, I might be thinking what she's thinking. I think, not to say that I think I'm brilliantly and smart.
She's not brilliant.
No.
So, yeah, you're not saying that.
I'm just saying I think that she has a pretty level head, even though she's not exciting. You're right. She's not that exciting, but she's pretty level-headed. I I think when Lea was attacking, and Marysol just was like really composed, to me, that's how I behave when I know I'm right. Like if somebody's going crazy on me and attacking me and I'm really composed, it's like, I'm going to let you out crazy right now because you're going to look even crazier.
Yeah, you get more defensive.
And so I tend to side with Marysol because she's being so calm.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe Marysol's side of the
Marysol too,
story.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Lisa Pliner was lying because they had that clip of her saying, well, I was saying it was a money issue, and I guarantee it happened the way Marysol said it did, which was like, I talked to Lisa. She said she was having money issues, and I was telling her how to cut corners on costs, and one of them was going to be your host, Elaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's literally probably all it was. I don't think it was this vindictive thing of like, don't hire Elaine. Do
No,
you
me
hear
neither.
You
I
know,
don't.
it's silly, and Marysol doesn't have that personality we've seen. That
No.
she's
She
not really
just-
capable of that.
She doesn't have a manipulative personality, I don't think. So
I
you
agree.
guys, I think
Yeah.
we've covered so much, and it's been such an exciting episode. So I think we should get into should we do our special segment?
Sure.
What she should have said?
Sure.
Do
Why
you guys
don't
have
you-
some what she should? I have some what
You
she
do.
should have
I
said.
have
don't
one
really
that's
have
not
much.
that good.
Well, you can do it
It's just a
anyway. It's
technical-
fun.
I don't really know who said it because it was kind of one of those group talkings. And someone, when they were going, one house was going to the other house, and they walk in, and someone's like, "Mi casa, yo casa."
It was Joanna.
Mi casa es su casa.
That was
That's
good. That was Joanna, and I was thinking the same.
Joanna can't
thing.
speak.
I have another Joanna one. Joanna said, "There's just so much rumors going on," and what she should have said was, "There are so many rumors going on." And I have one other.
Do you want me to sneak in while you're looking for it?
Well, I had another one, but I'm having a really hard time reading my own handwriting. Oh, I have it. Like the music. Okay, yeah. Lisa said, "Well, it's because she's just so tore up about what Alexia said about Rodolfo, and what she should have said is she's just so torn up." And wow, Lisa, you showed your old Playboy whatever girl days when you use that word. I mean, you live in the big house now, girl. You have to learn how to speak English properly.
Yeah. I don't have any good ones really. The one I have was Alexia said, "I love everything about everyone here," and what she should have said is, "I'm just being manipulative, and I want you to be on my side for future reference." I mean, that's not really fun.
Or what
but
she should have said is, "I love everybody here because Karent's not here."
But the thing is, she doesn't love Joanna, and she doesn't love Lisa.
No, she doesn't.
She's a manipulator. She's gonna get well, Karent's not there. She's gonna try to get with Lisa and Joanna, and get them on her team. Well, she can, but it's like you can see right through that.
I hope that if there's a season 3 that she
She's
comes
not in
back.
it. Oh.
No, I hope she comes back. She causes
hope
so much
Alexia
drama.
comes back?
yeah,
she
I mean, it'd
causes
be more fast
drama.
without her.
Why did she
Get
have
rid
those
of
black
Anna.
rubber bands in her head? That pissed me off.
She shops at Rite Aid. I don't know.
Like they
I know-
had blonde. They have a pack with brown, blonde, and black.
right.
Get blonde. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Yeah,
should.
that was whack.
Yeah. She probably still pictures herself with her natural
Her
hair
black-
color. Right.
Her black little hair tie thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something that I would have done. It's like just very junior high.
No, I loved her hair in the front.
Yeah,
I
but
thought
in
it
the
was
back,
very
it was
becoming.
bad, like-
But yeah, it looked. No, that looks fine. You have black hair.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she has blonde hair, like platinum blonde hair, and it was like a black. Okay, I digress.
Yeah.
First
no,
of
I get
all,
you, I get
she
you.
should take her hair tone down a notch to a warmer tone. Because let's face it, it's a little too harsh. And I think one thing that we noticed about Alexia when she was on the couch with the mimosa is she has actually a very pretty face with no makeup
Oh
on.
yeah, she does. But the thing is too, when you have that heavy of a Latina accent, like your hair can't be that blonde because there's no sort of like natural way that happened.
No, that's not. There are plenty of blonde Hispanics. They come from Spain.
She's not.
Christina
she's not from
Aguilera.
Spain. Yeah, that's fake blonde.
That's fake blonde.
No,
But
no,
you know
no,
what I
it's fake
mean.
blonde now, but it used to be natural blonde.
Our systems detect that a host has wandered off the subject.
No, this is the subject. This is
No, the
most
subject
important
is
subject.
blonde and how blonde is blonde.
We're talking about hair ties and hair color.
Get into
and
it.
Spanish people.
It's the Real Housewives of Miami. Hello. What else do you think we could
When
talk
are we
about?
going to talk about this on Boardwalk Empire?
And Christina
I know.
Aguilera is Hispanic.
Yeah,
Okay,
she
that
is,
still doesn't-
but she
yeah.
has. Yeah, her
Blonde
hair's
hair.
always
Yeah,
bad,
so
by
that's
the
still
way.
on topic.
Anyway,
kinda.
let's get to another topic. News and gossip. Anybody have any?
AfterBuzz TV.
That's the news.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Crazy breaking news here. Joanna reveals that her New Year's resolution is. I love how non-committed she is to this resolution. drinking a little less. It's not like
It's my
not
kind of resolution.
drinking. It's not like quitting drinking.
1 glass a week.
Right.
It's like,
Drink
I
a
love
little
that.
less.
I love that.
Yeah.
That actually made me like her a lot more.
Well, the thing is, that's a doable resolution.
Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna let myself down with this one.
Right. I'm gonna have reasonable expectations. And then let's see, just one other little piece of news or gossip is that the former Miami star Larsa Pippen is getting her own reality show.
oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think that would be really exciting, but let's see.
She can't keep one. What makes them think she'll be able to get
Right, it's
high
like-
ratings on another one?
I mean, the first piece of the article is, who was fired off of first season of Real Housewives of Miami, so it's not a good start. But you guys can check it out when it comes to theaters
Interesting.
near you. Anyway,
Any predictions?
And now, your AfterBuzz.
I'll just fade out. I don't want to have you guys wait for that.
Marysol is not getting a divorce next.
Right.
Marysol is probably still married. Someone out there, let me know.
Oh, I like that. Marysol is married. You had a really great prediction, and I think you're onto something because you said, I think last week you said, I think one of the women is going to go home early, and I think we see the urgency now that Karent wants to go home because of her father. She tried to get a flight out, but she wasn't able to that night. So do you think she might leave the next morning early?
I don't know, because then we saw the preview and they're like, it's raining. We can't get out of here.
Well, you were predicted right enough to say she'd probably want to go.
So I don't know if she got to or not, but yeah, she wanted to. I was right.
my prediction is that Adriana absolutely says, no way, I'm not going to get married, because we saw that in the preview with Jacques Cousteau there. And remember, he said to the Sun.
That's sad.
I think Adriana's not sincere to him. I think if she really liked him, she would marry him already. And my other prediction is that Roman comes, obviously, and he makes her dinner, but they still don't get married in real life.
Yeah, because they're already engaged. So she's like, oh, look at this setup. But they're already engaged. So, like, what's...
Like, you guys are going to hook up soon. So.
Really? I thought maybe it would be like an impromptu wedding.
No, they're not going to get married anymore. They're
Oh,
broken
yeah,
up
they
and
are
everything,
broken up.
So.
Yeah.
So nice try, Roman.
All right, you guys. Well, I'm excited
Do you
for
have a
next
prediction?
week. I predict it's going to be a good finale, and I'm sad it's over. And thanks so much for joining us tonight. I was your host, Molly Harper.
And where can we find you?
You can find me. Thank you. You can find me on Twitter at Molly Comedy.
And follow Molly. She's hilarious. She's hilarious.
I'm not that funny on Twitter lately. I haven't been on, but
Me neither.
follow me anyways. I'll be on someday. And where can we find you, Kristen?
You can find me on Twitter also at Kristen Carney. It's Kristen. And go to my website, which I never write on anymore, my blog, SweatTheSmallStuffWithKristen.com.
You can find me on Twitter, Michelle Renee LA, MichellReneeElla. All right.
All right, you guys.
So we'll see you next week for the finale.
Yay.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Hey,
Bye.
buzz you
See
later.
you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.